Hello everybody and welcome to episode 9 of the Grumpy Gaming Weekend podcast on the 8th of June. I had to check then. On the 8th of June. Today is a special episode again. We're going to be covering some of the E3 stuff, the E3 announcements. We're also going to be talking about the E3 coverage that we are going to be doing live. But first of all, since I forget every single week, and I didn't this week, I forget every week to say, if you are enjoying these podcasts, please let me know by liking the video and subscribing if you haven't already. We do this podcast every Saturday. It's a weekly show, hence the weekend podcast. So every Saturday we do this podcast. If you are liking it, please let us know down in the comments and leave a like and all that YouTube jargon, but I appreciate it. But anyway, what have we all been up to this week? Because Taylor's been away for like 9 months, it seems. Like, how long has it been?
Yeah, she decided she hates us and then she left.
It was 3 weeks because I got back on a day that was like huge jet lag for me, and for me to wake up and get myself going and all that.
Yeah. And we did say like the last thing you wanted to see on your first day back was our ugly mugs. Let's be honest.
No, I missed you guys. I went with family members, and stayed with family members that are all old and they don't have good internet, so like I had to be sparing on the YouTube I watched. I had to not look at Twitch. I had to I couldn't even scroll my Instagram. It was a hard time. It was like a internet cleanse.
I was gonna say, is that not good though? Is that not good for the soul?
It was I was so busy. We were walking around and sightseeing every day for hours. I had a Fitbit and I did over 20,000 steps almost every day. It was so much, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Taylor was away in Holland visiting family. That's why she wasn't here last week or the week before. But yeah, so that's what you've been up to. No gaming then? No gaming while you're away in Holland, Taylor? Nothing to report?
iPhone games.
iPhone games,
iPhone
mobile
games.
games. Well,
Mobile
you're on your way
games.
to being a middle-aged woman now. That's how it works.
I know.
I'm not touching that one.
No.
Thank you.
No, she's wishing she didn't come back. But
Elliott,
Elliott, what have you been
left
up
the
to?
call.
No, Elliott, what have you been up to? What have you been playing this week, dude?
I've been playing some Dauntless. I played some more Dauntless. I'm still enjoying it.
I still don't understand. Why has Dauntless come back? Has something happened? Is it updated? Did it release on a new console?
I think they did their full release because it was alpha before or beta testing. I think it is now out.
Right.
They have released the game.
Okay.
So I played a bit more Dauntless, a bit more Sekiro. I've gotten to a point now in Sekiro where the bosses make me want to throw stuff.
I think I came in and you had a death counter of over 100 or something. I don't think I'm over
100 yet.
Did I dream that?
I don't think I'm under 100. I think last stream I did. It was either Wednesday or Monday. I got to 69 and then someone was like, now you can't die anymore because 69 is a funny number. And I was like, guys,
the internet,
I've been trying to die.
I feel because you raided somebody and they were also not enjoying it as much. I feel I don't know, maybe it's just my impression of Sekiro, but this one seems to be everyone was going to say it was going to be the best ever Dark Souls game ever, and then it turns out a lot of people aren't enjoying it as other Souls-like games.
I feel so I've had a lot of people saying in chat stuff you don't seem to be enjoying this as much as Bloodborne, or are you enjoying this? You don't seem like you're enjoying this. So I've had a lot of that. I'm enjoying it more than Bloodborne. I'm just getting very angry.
What do you like more about it?
The skill ceiling to it, and every boss. My favorite thing with it so far is that every single boss or mini boss. So there are bosses and mini bosses, but they're you can't really tell a huge amount of difference between them. Every single mini boss has a different way of fighting that you have to get very used to their attack patterns, and you have to do different stuff to beat them. And that's what I'm enjoying with it. Everyone is a different. I feel at Bloodborne, I got to a point where I got good enough at the parrying mechanic that almost every boss I could just get the parries, and then you get hits, and then you separate distance out, you go back in, parry, get some hits. And all the bosses were a very similar method of fighting. Sekiro is not like that. There are some bosses where you need to start jumping off of them. Different prosthetics work differently for different bosses. I think it's just like the game gives you so many tools that the skill ceiling is very, very high, and I'm really enjoying that. But it is more rage inducing because you can't just go into every boss being like, I just kicked the snot out of this guy, so now I'm going to kick the snot out of this guy. Like, it's a different fight. But that's a good thing. It is a good thing. I'm enjoying it.
I suppose. You've been playing some other stuff though as well, haven't you? You've been playing something today, which is actually one of my favorite games I've ever streamed. What did you play today?
Grumps is so keen for today's game. Today I played, so for my Twitch channel on Fridays, we do finish at Friday. Last week we finished Doom. We got to the end of Doom, we killed the last boss. And this week I decided that I was going to do a game that I thought I could one-shot in one stream. And I played Little Nightmares, which is a really, really not like, I'm not a big horror game fan, but it's not that horror.
It's not really that scary.
It's more just a bit like weird.
Yeah, creepy.
But yeah, it's very, very creepy game. I really enjoyed it. The music was beautiful. The music is really, really well scored. The graphics were really nice. I died a lot of times and got angry at it. So apparently that's what I like in a game. So it worked out.
Wait, are you saying it's the Dark Souls of
it's the Dark Souls of Tim Burton's weird world?
Well, so those of you maybe not have heard of Little Nightmares or never played it, it's very similar to games like Limbo and Inside. It's one of these platformers, one of these little platformers that don't really tell you much about the world or the lore. It kind of just shows you stuff and you have to make your own kind of mind up about what's going on. And that's why I really, really liked it. And in fact, I streamed Little Nightmares at request of my Twitch chat. They were like, have you played it? I was like, no. They were like, you should. So I played it and streamed it and I loved it that much that I spent like the next evening just like watching YouTube videos on theories and stuff. And I could literally make a whole podcast about the theories of Little Nightmares because there's so many like little hints and stuff to the lore that in fact I played it twice and I would recommend that you go and like watch the theory videos and if you have time play it again. I'm
like, probably not going to do that.
That's fine. But I
enjoy the game.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just feel like so what I did, if you enjoy the game and you want more of the lore, like once you know what the game's about or once you have an inkling about what the game's about, when you go back and play it, you see so much more things. It's like when you watch a film and there's a twist at the end and then you go back and watch the film and you're like, oh, that was leading up to that twist and everything makes sense. It's kind of similar to that, you know. You don't have to do it, but if you do enjoy Little Nightmares, would recommend a second playthrough once you have figured out all the lore-wise. But no, I really enjoy Little Nightmares. I have streamed it twice now, and I probably will stream it another time and tell everybody my crazy crackpot theories. But no, I've been playing a couple of games this week. I did on Sunday. We played a little bit of Death Garden, which is interesting. I know we're all Dead by Daylight players. And Death Garden is made by the same developers as Dead by Daylight, and it's also another asymmetrical PvP-based game like Dead by Daylight, except it's not Dead by Daylight. It's very weird. It's a weird one to explain. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just Dead by Daylight with guns, and it's not really. What this one is this one has two roles just like Dead by Daylight. You have a hunter and scavengers, just like you have killers and survivors. Except in this one, it kind of, like the best way to describe it is it's like imagine the Hunger Games, except only one of you got a gun and nobody else got one. And it's like that. And so the scavenger's job, they have to collect blood and turn it into one of the three, I think it's 3 points on the map, A, B, and C. And so they have to go and get blood and take it to there. And if they collect enough blood, the exit gate's open. If the time limit runs out, the exit gate's also open. And so the hunter's job is to hunt down these scavengers, down them, and then kill them. If they get, you can shoot them, and if they go down, then you can go and execute them, which takes a little bit of time, but they can be revived by the other scavengers. And the scavenger's job is to not die, essentially. Not die. That's basically all they have to do. It's just avoid you, get away, hide, or do the objective quick enough. And it's very interesting because it's really fast-paced, like really, really fast-paced. You think Dead by Daylight, like modern current Dead by Daylight, is fast-paced? This is way faster paced because it's like free running. Like, so these scavengers can run up walls, they can jump higher than you, they can run up walls, they can scale stuff that you can't scale. But as the hunter, you have an ability which makes you go super fast. You can literally jump from like halfway across the map when you're doing your super speed. And then each hunter has their own little abilities. Like you have one that can deploy turrets, you have one that can go invisible, and then you have one that can lay landmines. And they all have their own different individual guns. Like one's more of a sniper, one has more like, assault rifles. But it's all right. It's kind of fun. It wasn't free weekend, which was the reason why I picked it up and played it. And it was okay. It was actually pulled from the store because it wasn't in Behavior's words, it wasn't good enough. So they pulled it and reworked the game completely, and now they've re-released it again. But it was okay. I don't think it's gonna hold my interest as long as Dead by Daylight has. And in fact, I'm still playing Dead by Daylight. I'm not playing Death Garden right now. So, but yeah, it's interesting. If you like the idea of a Dead by Daylight or asymmetrical game, but with guns instead, play it. By the way, the scavengers in that game have loads of ways to escape. Whereas in Dead by Daylight,
super annoying.
Yeah.
The scavengers in that game are really annoying.
Yeah, they can go invisible. They can drop smoke bombs. They can. There's one that can create clones of himself, and there's like 20 of them. And you're like, oh, which one's the real one? Which, by the way, the clones. I don't know if you, because you played a little bit, didn't you, Elliott?
I did play a bit. I played like maybe a handful of matches, and I was like, I'm not sure. It's
kind of how I felt about it. But the clones that they've added into the game are very sophisticated. Like a lot of them actually behave like a scavenger would. Like they run and jump and climb and hide and stuff. It's really, really good. But no, it was good. I enjoyed what I played of it. I don't think I'll be playing much more of it. I do personally prefer Dead by Daylight just because I really like the horror aesthetic of it. I really like the horror theme. And talking about Dead by Daylight, should we have a quick talk about Ghostface? This isn't going to be a huge segment because the majority of this show today is going to be focusing on the E3 stuff and what we've got coming up, because we've got some E3 stuff coming up. But we might as well talk a little bit about Ghostface while we're at it, because Ghostface is on the PTB right now, on the player test build, public test build, whatever it stands for. Whatever it stands for, yeah. So Ghostface, if you're not aware, is the new killer coming to Dead by Daylight. It is Ghostface from the Scream franchise. So a lot of people have been highly anticipating this. In fact, a lot of people have been asking for Ghostface for quite a while. Like, they're like, oh, you know, he's an iconic killer.
I think Scream, the Scream series and movies, and like the Netflix remake and everything is probably my favorite genre of horror.
Franchise.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Franchise. Yeah.
So are you excited for Ghostface? Are you happy? Because we've seen gameplay of him now, haven't we?
When I saw the accidental release, I was so excited. I was like, oh, there's so many like mechanics that look so like cool and like have like different elements from different killers, but like work together, and almost like it seemed like it was going to go really well. And then when they actually put it on this public test build, I've seen so many videos of people reviewing it as a flop.
Yeah.
Like,
so when we say flop, we mean
any gameplay.
Okay, well,
you never saw gameplay?
I've seen his items and I've seen like his skills and stuff, but I haven't seen any.
So
gameplay.
What happens is that you can stalk and then create like an exposed effect on the survivors.
Kind of like Myers. Kind of like how Myers does.
Kind of like Myers, but then you can one hit down. And what happens is that people are having a really hard time getting it to even take effect to get anybody exposed. So because what happens is the killers.
Sorry, is it like Myers where like you have to maintain like the like line of sight and hold M2?
Yes. But there's more to it than that, though. There's more to it than that. It's a bit more complicated.
There's more to it than that. But what happens is that the killer's power can be canceled if the survivor's looking in the direction of the killer. Oh. But the problem is they didn't do it based on the player's like angle of their body. They did it based on the camera view. So like survivors can swing their camera around and then it cancels immediately. So it doesn't really work because you're running one way.
The way that it works is it's kind of like a cross between Myers and Piggy. So he has to Piggy. It's kind of like it's like a cross between the pig and Myers, where he has to be in stealth mode. So he can crouch down and that puts him in stealth mode. And while he's in stealth mode, he can stalk. He can't stalk while he's out of stealth. But the problem is as Taylor said, is all you've got to do to get him out of stealth is just look at him. Just once. Just look at him. And
just instantly as soon as you look at him?
Yeah, just instantly he goes out of stealth mode.
And it's in the direction, and like you can be like stalking behind an object, like a wall or
it's not like you have to be looking dead center on him, just as long as he's in your camera, which we all know, like the camera is such a wide FOV. It's like you could probably spin in a circle as a survivor and you'll probably get him out of his power, honestly. Which, you know, he still has his knife.
They only really need to make it so that it's like you have to look in his direction for like half a second or something.
So a lot of people have been saying this. A lot of YouTubers, I know True Talent and others have said this is what they need to do, is just add like a few seconds on. But it's just kind of weird how like they tried to make him this super stealthy killer, yet they gave him like no stealth. Like he's so easy to get out of stealth. And then it's like do they not? I know that Dead by Daylight are pushing out content really fast, because I mean, how long ago was it that we got Plague? It wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
2 months?
Exactly.
They put out a new thing every 3 months, right?
Exactly. So I don't think they're giving themselves enough time to work on these characters. Like I really don't. I think that considering that like how a killer like works, you know, is like so integral to that game. I don't think they're giving themselves enough time. I mean, I know we've had the last 4 killers. We've had Spirit, then Legion, then Plague, and now Ghostface. A lot of people complain about Spirit, even though Spirit is a lot of people's favorite killer. A lot of people complain about Spirit because she is a little bit overpowered in certain circumstances. Everybody hated Legion. A lot of people were excited about Plague, but then now nobody plays Plague. I'm going to be honest, I rarely see a Plague in Dead by Daylight anymore, and she's only been out a couple of months. And now everybody, even on the PTB, is like, yeah, Ghostface is awful, broken, rubbish, not working. So I'm just like, I feel like they need to give themselves more time to work on these.
Or like have some sort of announcement that like the public test build is like there for proper feedback, and then they're going to correct it, because the way that it kind of like feels like it's getting received by everybody when they play the public test build is that it's supposed to be like accurate at that point.
Well,
so
the
maybe
problem
just
with
like
that,
propose the idea.
The problem with that is though, is he's coming out in a couple of weeks. They don't have time really to like completely rework him. So
then that's the problem. Maybe it's like they take the feedback and then. Well, people are saying that you can fix that by changing, instead of it being the camera view, is being the angle of the player's body.
Yeah.
Because like when they use that same kind of mechanism when you vault something, like you have to be at a certain angle of your body to vault. Otherwise it won't work. So they're saying, why can't you apply that to having it through your like player's body face the killer?
Which I absolutely agree. I think that would be a better system, but I don't know how long that's going to take, and that's the problem. So if they now know this, now what do they do? Because they've promised that Ghostface is coming out in a couple of weeks. So what do they do? Delay him, which is going to anger everybody, or do they hold it like, or do they just release him and go, we'll fix him later? Which then people are going to be like, well, you didn't fix Legion, because the Legion rework, which wasn't a rework by the way, everyone calls it a rework. Even Behavior don't call it a rework. The Legion, it was a rebalance. That didn't work. The Freddy rework is coming, and now they're gonna have to rework Ghostface as well. It's just kind of like, yeah, I wish they just gave themselves a little bit more time to work on these, and then or test them a bit more in-house, or maybe even, I mean, they have all these Fog Whisperers now. Why don't they release them out to the Fog Whisperers and let them play them and like maybe get their opinions? Because these are the guys that, you know, care about the game so much, they're making content on it probably 7 days a week. So why not let these guys test it? They know what they're talking about. You know, you chose them selectively. For those of you who don't know, the Fog Whisperers are essentially the same thing as you have in The Sims, which I always forget the Sims ones. What are they called in The Sims? They're called the game changers? Is that whatever? Anyway, they are people from the community that make content on the game, and if they get, you know, if you're big enough and if you are successful enough and if you are, you know, what Behavior want, essentially they will call you a Fog Whisperer, and you get like certain perks and privileges. They
essentially give you all the free skins, like
and like I know Cauliflower got invited out. Cauliflower is a big Dead by Daylight Twitch streamer. She got invited out to
Toronto,
to do the live stream. So, you know, things like that. So yeah, you have all these Fog Whisperers. They have quite a few of them now. Why not release it to them? I mean, from what I've seen on YouTube, it's mainly Fog Whisperers that are like, yeah, Behavior, this ain't working. So if you'd have maybe released it to the Fog Whisperers, they might have been able to give you a bit of feedback, and then, you know, I'm sure. And here's the thing: if you give the killer to these, you know, to these Fog Whisperers and say, here, you can go and make content before everybody else, they would love you for it, because that, we all know, exclusive content on YouTube and Twitch, it's great, right? It's great for your channel. So it's a win-win.
It's almost like the people that make Dead by Daylight are like developers and not really business people. Like the decisions they make to try to like sell products and like get them out at the speed that they are, like it just there's some logistics issues that clearly aren't making sense. And then they collect all this money from people to pay for the new releases and everything, and then you get something that needs reworked. Like I don't know. There's something.
I will say from watching the live stream, I will say they are definitely committed to making the game great. Like I will give them their due. I feel like they're more transparent. They're more community focused than a lot of game studios out there are anymore. You know, they're basically what Blizzard used to be. You know, they get you in, they get the community involved. They tell you exactly what they're working on. They're giving you good time frames, and so far they have met their time frame. So every time they say this is going to be done by this date, it's done. And I have huge respect for that, because that is difficult. But at the same time, like part of me just goes, just take a bit more, you know?
Being done on a time frame with a half-assed product is not the same thing as being done on a time frame with a good product.
I agree. I meant more with the things like if they say like dedicated servers are coming out at this date, you know, like they have if you look at the roadmap that they've put out for the on the live stream, they've got this is happening on this date, the mobile launches this date, the Switch launches this date, and then this is this, and this is the new release of product. But I absolutely agree with you. Releasing a product on time that doesn't work very well and then having to fix it again, like you might as well have just said, hey guys, it ain't ready, it's coming out soon. But the problem now is that we know that the thing's coming and we're all excited for it. Well, we were until we saw that Ghostface wasn't working properly. So we all want to play Ghostface. I know I do, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's a really tricky situation that they're in. And I feel like maybe they should focus more on the other things that aren't new content, and the new content, just spend a little bit more time on it. Just get it till it's ready, and then you can unload that. Because one thing that I will say is, and I've been saying this for a little while, the last video that I put up was a Survivor video, and you guys know that I started off Dead by Daylight as a killer main. I've been playing a hell of a lot more Survivor recently because I honestly feel like the game is balanced more towards survivors at the moment. And I know there's gonna be people in the comments being like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's so killer dominated." Like honestly, with how Metal of Man and all of these other perks, which we know Metal of Man's getting nerfed, so come on. But with all of these second chance perks that we've got in the game at the moment, I do feel like the game is a little bit balanced more towards the survivors. And knowing that Ghostface is coming out and he's a weak killer, like he doesn't have a strength, like there's no reason to play him over Hillbilly, for example, or Nurse, right? So why release like a weak killer in a meta of survivor advantage? It just makes no sense to me. There's definitely going to need to be some reworks or some balance changes or something. But yeah,
I mean, the happiest player in the game is always going to be the winner, and there's only one killer and there's 4 survivors, so you're making 4 people happy, or you can make 1 person happy. It's a numbers game,
conspiracy theorists out there. No, we've said this before. It's impossible to balance an asymmetrical game. It's never going to be balanced. There's always going to be one side that has, even if it's a slight advantage, there's always going to be one side that has an advantage. And I do feel like, you know, it flip-flops. We'll have one patch where it's the killers are dominating, and then one patch where the survivors are dominating, and so on and so forth. I will say that a couple of the Ghostface perks do look pretty nasty. There's one perk that when you hook a survivor, I think, it locks all generators that aren't being worked on for 16 seconds. So not only does it tell you exactly what generators people are working on, they can't change and go and jump on another one. So it slows the game down a little bit and also is good for tracking. So that's going to be a very interesting perk. So I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
But yeah, so anyone else got anything else on Dead by Daylight before I move on to the juicy E3 stuff?
No.
No? We're going to play some Dead by Daylight soon?
I haven't played Dead by Daylight in ages.
I
know the last few times you guys have played on stream, Taylor has messaged me being like, Elliott, come play with us. And I'm just like, I'm busy. I was editing some YouTube videos. I started making YouTube content. That's this week too.
Yes, you have. Why don't you tell us about your YouTube
I've
channel?
actually made YouTube content, and I filmed
Welcome
it, and
to
I
the dark
edited
side.
it, and I yelled at it, and then I found out my footage was unusable, and then I found out my edit was wrong, and then.
Oh man!
Oh,
this is how I know that I'm a true YouTube user.
It's true.
Now,
it's true. It's
my first video. Everything went shit, and then I was like, I'm just gonna put it up. And then my second video, everything went shit, and I was like, okay, I'll fix it.
No, excuse me. Your second video you put up, I watched it and was like, hey, did you mean to leave that in? Was that supposed? And you were like,
you've left in 2 times that you got the lines wrong, and I was like, no.
Look, honestly, I get to that point as well where you're editing for so long that it all goes into one big blur of editing, and you're just like, it's done, it's fine, it's out there, and somebody will pick up on any little minute problem in a YouTube video. Somebody will pick up on it. They'll be like, did you know that actually that logo was like 3 pixels to the left? And I'm like, shut up, JP. Like, stop it.
I was like, I know where this is going to. To be fair, so my plan was film one day and edit the next, and then I found out that all my footage was unusable because I'd left a fan on underneath my desk. And so all of my footage, you could just hear like in the background. So I took it all into Audacity. I tried doing like cleanup because I had some audio at the start, and I was like, I might be able to clean up this audio. No.
So, the good thing is you'll never make that mistake again. Because you remember that.
I will not.
Yeah.
I had to scrub like over an hour of footage. It's a 5-minute video and it took me an hour and 20 minutes to film.
It does. There's always like so much more that goes into even a short little video than a lot of people realize. Taylor, when are you doing your YouTube channel? Are you going to do a YouTube channel? You said you were going to.
Yeah, Taylor. Join us.
So
to film
a board game, like how to play is a ton of fucking work. I had to make a script and then a shot list, and then I started doing the shots, and then I'm stressful. So I'm all
That sounds like way more planning than I put into my videos.
Yeah, because like it's not just me talking. It's like I had to like read through the instructions, be like, okay, how am I going to demonstrate with this with like bits, like, and oh my god, way more work than I anticipated, and I'm not fully done. And so I was working up until I left on my vacation on it, and I still have to film some more. So, and then I have to edit it. So we'll see.
It is, honestly, it's so much work. And this is one thing that I learned as well. Like, this is one of the big differences between Twitch and YouTube. And with Twitch, you can also, or live streaming in general, you know, you can just flick on your camera and your stuff and you go live and that's it, and you finish and you're done. With YouTube, it's not the same. It's a lot more behind the scenes work goes into even a small video. And this isn't a complaint, by the way. This is just a fact of life. It's just how it is. And so once you start making YouTube videos, I feel I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I start to really appreciate the craftsmanship of other people's YouTube videos, where like I'm watching a video and their like audio is perfect and their lighting is perfect and their, you know, their background is spot on and everything. And I'm just like, you son of a bitch, like you did so good. But
and when I say I'm gonna edit it, it's not me that's gonna edit it.
we know yeah you know, if we all had a partner who could edit our videos, we would utilize
who's a video editor.
I would utilize
I
that,
have
definitely.
someone who is a video editor who has been offering to edit my videos, and I'm like, no, I have to learn.
No, you should learn
if
to do it yourself first.
Yeah. Anyone looking for a video editor, just message me. I have someone.
She's looking for one.
Just message my sleeping partner.
Yeah.
My secret video editor.
My secret video editor. No.
But yeah, YouTube, it's great. You guys need to start your own channels so you can actually say like, hey guys, check out my YouTube channel. We can have the whole thing at the end of this like we do.
I just want to like apply to like, so you know how there's like obviously like Discord communities and like video game communities, and they play games and they post them on YouTube, and they're like a whole like your dream idea for me. Like there's one that's for board games, and I just want to work for them so bad. Like I just need to see. I should start messaging them and be like,
yeah, I was gonna say,
when you say start messaging them, that sounds like you're going to do it relentlessly until they say yes.
Yeah,
day one, 5 messages sent.
I like board games, help me.
But no, why not? Go message them. Why not? You never know.
I want to join them too.
Well, they're only men, so I'm like, diversity hire.
There you go, token female again. This is how I'm getting everywhere, isn't it?
God, like she literally came. I'm never gonna get a job.
She came to us and was like, "Hey, I know you're doing a podcast. Would you like a token female?" We were like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It makes us look, you know, diverse." That's not true, by the way. That's a total joke. It's not true. We actually are friends, aren't we, Sarah? We're friends, right? But yeah, so that's I don't know what we got onto this YouTube rant, but sure, whatever.
This is all my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault.
What happens with us. We start one place, we end up somewhere else.
It's almost like I don't plan these out and have a script and stuff, whatever. But no, we're going to talk about E3.
Problem is, you're the only one with a script.
No, I know. It's not really a script. It's more notes. It's like, here's what we're talking about today on the podcast. You can't even see it. It's like, here's what we're talking today.
At the bottom, it's just like, stop Elliott getting off subject.
Yeah, like stop shilling own YouTube channels.
In my Twitch channel, I've had to make a command that's ! Outro for when I'm doing my outro and being like, oh, thanks for dropping in. Because I get distracted in it so much, I've had to make it, and it tags me and goes like, do the outro and leave. Like, because it's such like a common thing of just like, I keep going and going and going. And yeah, my mods have just been like, we want... No, she didn't. She's never said that.
Anyway, back on track.
Oh,
so
wait. One more thing before E3.
Okay, cool.
How did your mom like the maple stuff I sent?
Oh yeah, we could talk about this. So if you haven't checked out my YouTube video, I got a lovely care package for some random lady in Canada. But no, Taylor sent me a care package from Canada, and it arrived, and I did a YouTube unboxing. It was really, really great. She loved it. She really liked the maple candies. I've got a couple left here that I'm saving for Elliott. But they're these little maple candies. Just taste like maple syrup. They're delicious.
They are maple syrup.
They're just maple syrup set into a mold.
Yeah,
is that what they are?
Maple syrup can be like in many like viscosity.
Yeah.
Is that the word I'm looking for?
States, viscosities. Yeah, well, it is like a
Yeah. So like
The maple
it'll come
syrup,
in like
it comes in many forms.
yeah. So that one that's just maple syrup. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
right.
it comes as like hard like that, and then it comes as a sugar. It comes as like a liquid. It
You
comes.
can pour it in snow and put sticks in it.
So you have to boil it first.
That sounds lame. I don't.
And then you put it in
ice.
ice, and then it becomes like a taffy. Yeah.
Oh.
That is really good.
Well, I really liked the package because there was a couple of things that we get in England that are different. So I was supposed to tell you about this. So you sent me some Smarties, right? And we get Smarties in England. But I thought, oh, well, they're just the same. But they're not. I tasted them and they tasted different. They were like kind of a bit more denser.
Our chocolate's not good.
It wasn't. I liked it. And so I said to I gave my dad one and I was like, here, try these Smarties. And he was like, oh, they used to taste like that in England, but now they don't. So it's like almost like
I know what
losing,
it
like, the
is.
old recipe.
I know what it is. It's because you guys use a specific type of sugar and we use a different one. I looked up what it was, and now I can't remember.
We use cane sugar.
I know
they
America
use
uses
Yeah,
corn
and we
syrup.
use corn syrup.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, which apparently is like corn syrup really bad for you. I don't know. I mean, not like cane sugar is
Smarties.
great for you.
Smarties is bad for you no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't have Smarties cereal. And if you get that reference, let me know down in the comments below. You are a legend. That show is the best.
I'm never going to remember to comment when this comes out. I know the reference.
You have to watch the podcast, Elliott. You have to watch the podcast.
I'm just going to message you now. I'll do it now.
No, it doesn't count. It's got to be in the comment section. Jesus. But no, yeah, so the Smarties were great. I really like those. They tasted more like a less kiddified version of Smarties, so I like that. The crisps were really different. Like the crisps, even though it's the same brand that we get Walkers in England, which is Lay's in America and Canada. They're just different. They're smaller and they had like more flavoring on them. Like ours are quite I don't know, it depends. Like our salt and vinegar flavors are like super flavorful, but a lot of ours aren't. And these were like, they were ketchup flavor crisps, but they had like you know when you get barbecue ones, Elliott, and they have that like kind of like a coating on them. They were like that.
Yeah.
But most of our crisps don't have that kind of coating on, so they were quite nice. Because we have had ketchup flavors in the past. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, so I thought ketchup was unique to Canada and also all dressed, but I couldn't get all of it to fit in the package because if I went one size up in a box, it immediately became like twice the price and more money than the box cost.
No, it was fine. Yeah, so we can't get them right now. They do with the ketchup ones. They do them every now and again as like a limited edition special, but they're not the same. They're not the same at all. They're very, very different. Like I said, they didn't have the.
I don't like the ketchup ones.
I do.
I'm not a fan.
I do.
I like Worcestershire sauce. They're my favourite crisps.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
It's Worcestershire for anybody who's confused.
It is Worcestershire for any Americans.
I do also like the Worcestershire sauce ones.
I call it Worcestershire.
Oh,
good job.
Canadians are better than I thought. What don't you?
It's just the Americans. Again, the Americans.
Your whole nation. I forgive you for all of your past discretions.
Forgive you. Personally, forgive you.
You still have the same queen as us. You're good by me.
True. Well, no, there was loads of stuff. There was a cap in there. I still have the cap. It's right here. I keep wearing it on stream and stuff. It's a cap.
You do.
I have a Canadian cap.
Well, I'm happy you enjoy it all.
Every time you wear that cap, the police get closer to your position and they know.
Are you not allowed to wear Canada stuff? Or are you kidding?
I'm joking.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, if you don't know what she's talking about, go and watch the video. I made a joke about getting beheaded.
There's a long-running joke on the internet. I think it comes from Americans of just like British people needing licenses for everything.
Yeah, there's also the Australians like to call us poems, prisoners of Mother England, like we're all repressed and it's archaic society. You know, it's a joke. It's an English thing. All right, we're in England where we have a monarchy and it's all dreadful and it rains a lot. And that's basically true. Let's be honest.
I mean, we do have to have a license to have a TV, which is baffling.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's how confused Americans
you say it's a license, but it's literally just you have to pay so much.
Yeah, basically you have to pay the British Broadcasting Company to own a TV.
Yeah,
well,
and if you don't, they literally come
TV.
to your door, knock on your door, and be like, "You need to pay a TV license." That actually,
is it a license or like a tax?
They call it a TV license.
They call it a TV license, but it's basically a tax. But you've got to pay it yourself. So you've got to go on the website or whatever, and you've got to pay it, and then your house is then covered. And if you don't, and you plug your TV in, they will literally come to your house and knock on the door and be like, "You've not paid your TV license."
It's basically the same as when the mafia make you pay them for protection.
Yeah, well, I was going to say because it literally our TV license is all because of the BBC. So we have the BBC. British Bob.
This is not on the subjects that we're supposed to be talking about.
It's not. But like, there's only like 3 BBC channels now, and if you watch any of the channels, you have to pay the money, but it's all because of the BBC. Anyway, Anyway, off topic. The care package
This
was
is literally,
amazing.
our friendship.
This is it. If you
All
ever want to
these
know what we're like
transitions.
off the podcast, this is it. And then we end up, it's like
This
2
is
a.m.
Very accurate.
We're like zombies because it's 2 a.m. Taylor's like, it's only 10 for me. Ha ha ha. And we're just like, okay, fine, I'm going to bed.
Gets to the point where we've forgotten to queue for any more games of whatever it is we're playing. We're just talking.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight's gone AFK. But no, we are here to talk about E3 today. Care package was amazing. Appreciate it. But we're here to talk about E3, which is coming up. It starts tomorrow. Well, it's weird because it kind of starts tomorrow for the showcases, but then the actual convention starts later, whatever. However, before we start talking about it, we're actually going to be covering it over on Twitch. So last year, I live streamed select parts of E3. And I gave my opinions on it, by the way, and this video is on my YouTube channel, so you can go and find it if you don't believe me. Last year, I watched Bethesda's live on Twitch. I watched their E3 conference where they were talking about how great and amazing Fallout 76 was, and I said, it's going to be shit. And everyone in my chat was like, you're just being too grumpy. You're being too cynical. It's great. I'm going to play Fallout with my friends for the first time ever. And I said, it's going to be crap. And guess what? It was crap. But regardless, my point is that we're going to be streaming it over on Twitch this year. We're going to do it together, aren't we? We decided just before the podcast, we're all going to do it over on my channel.
Yeah.
Which is going to be
I'm
really...
looking forward to it.
Yep.
It's going to be really,
thought I
really
was
fun.
going to miss E3 this week because I'm away from Wednesday. I'm going on holiday.
Yeah.
But it finishes on Wednesday, so I'm going to get to see it.
Yeah, you'll get
to
see it all. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and do all of the showcases, all of the shows. We might have to miss Devolver because of the timing. It's like 2 a.m. it starts, so we'll see if we can do Devolver.
Devolver's 3, Square's 2.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So
Devolver
the
is
Square
late.
and the Devolver ones, we'll try to cover them, but just no promises on that one. But apart from those two, we will be covering EA Play, Xbox, Bethesda, PC Gaming Show, Ubisoft, and I'll be definitely doing Nintendo. I don't know about these guys. But what we're going to do is we're going to start half an hour before each show over on my Twitch channel. So I will leave, if you want to come and hang out and listen to our opinions and stuff, and we'll probably have a bit of a laugh, and I'm going to get alcohol. So,
I'm ready for that. Wait.
Oh.
Are these, except for the fact that it's like 11 in the morning for me, is that okay? We're just going to pretend
it's fine.
not?
It's fine. As long as somebody's drinking,
Okay.
it's fine. Yeah,
It's always midday somewhere.
exactly.
Well, it's the weekend.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's fine. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting half an hour before the show, just to allow for technical difficulties and all of that rubbish, and just to say hi to the chat. So for each show, we'll be half an hour before over my Twitch channel. I'll leave a link down below if you want to come and hang out. And basically, I'm going to be grumpy. So if you don't like grumpiness at E3, then maybe don't come. If you do
Elliott
like
and I-
grumpiness,
wait. Elliott and I are not grumpy, so we'll balance them out. Don't worry.
yeah, takes two of you to balance one out. That's another fat joke. Amazing. But yeah, so that's it. We're all going to be doing it. So it was a last minute decision that we're all going to co-stream it together. We're not figured out the specifics yet. We're going to figure it out. But we're going to be watching it. We're going to be streaming it. We're going to be giving our opinions. We're going to be having a laugh. And you are all more than welcome to come and join. So links will be down below. But that'll be over on my channel. So twitch.tv/TheGrumpyBrit. But yeah, half an hour before each show. So E3 for Taylor. So Taylor isn't an expert on E3 because Taylor is I'm not trying not to be a gatekeeper.
She's
here.
not a real gamer.
No, that's not what I meant.
She
Taylor
plays
hasn't
mobile
been
games. She doesn't
as
count.
immersed in the gaming subcultures as we have for as many years as we have. Let's just put it that way. You're more of a...
like I had a life for a little bit. and then
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. Taylor had a social life and friends. We didn't, so that's why we play video games. But so
have
Taylor
friends, one.
has never actually watched an E3. So this is going to be your first ever one. You're going to watch with us, which is really, really
I'm
exciting.
excited.
I'm excited. It'll be fun. And then you'll see what I mean, though, when a lot of these trailers will come out and I'll be like, that won't make it into the game. That's bullshit. And then the game will come out and you'll be like, oh yeah, when Grumpy said that was bullshit, that was bullshit. So it'll be great.
Well, you know my gripes with trailers. Like they never even
Yeah.
show the proper gameplay. Like they'll give you this cinematic
Of
adventure,
course they don't.
and you're
When's-
playing like a platform game.
It's true. It's
Like,
true.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to watch them all.
Yeah, no, I am too. It's going to be really, really fun. As much as I actually like to get grumpy at the stuff because it's, I don't know, it's like it's like Grumpy 101 for me. It's like, oh, hey there, big company. What bullshit are you spouting today? Even the Blizzard aren't there, but still. But let's just address the elephant in the room. Sony aren't there. This is old news. We all know Sony's not there this year, which is the first time Sony hasn't been there. We've known this for a long time. It's been announced a long time ago, but Sony's not going to be there. Don't really want to get too hung up on this fact, but it's just very interesting that Sony isn't at E3 for the first time ever, yet Sony seems to be coming out with lots of E3 style announcements recently. Like we had this big random...
They did the whole thing, didn't they? The Sony...
State of Play?
Call it? That's the one, State of Play. I knew it was Play something.
Yeah, so they did the State of Play.
That, so they've done their E3. They're just like,
exactly.
You guys.
They've done their State of Play. They've done the whole like Death Stranding announcements. A lot of people are speculating that we're going to get some Last of Us 2 announcements very soon, although that is just a guess. We don't know. But yeah, it's very interesting that this is the first time they've never come to E3, yet they still seem to be doing it all. It's almost like they realize they don't need to pay for E3 anymore. It's almost like they're like...
Well, isn't like all the cross-platform stuff for the last couple of years, like Xbox and like everyone's been like, oh, crossplay, and Sony were just like, no, we have enough exclusives that we don't want to crossplay with you.
Well, it's interesting.
This is a step further of that. It's just Sony being like, no, screw all of you. We're going to do our own thing.
It's really interesting because the last couple of E3s have been very weak for Xbox. Xbox has been kind of left behind. And it's very interesting that has totally flipped. That this year, Xbox is coming out with apparently 14 games at E3 this year, which is quite a lot. And Sony's not even there. So it's weird how we've gone like from almost 360, where at one point people were like, why are Xbox even bothering turning up to E3 anymore? And now Xbox are like basically the flagship now, you know, like they're basically, well, I guess you could, EA's going first, but Xbox for the consoles anyway, Xbox is like the flagship now this year for E3, which is very weird. And look, I'll be honest, I haven't touched my Xbox in over a year, so I would love a reason to, and we'll get onto Xbox because we're going to go through some of the Xbox stuff as we get on. But I would love a reason to actually get excited about Xbox anymore, because at the moment I have no motivation to use an Xbox anymore. Like, I
don't own an Xbox anymore, and like my housemate has an Xbox One, and I have a PS4. And literally, we were talking about this a couple months ago, and he was just like, "Do you want to swap them for a bit so I can play some of the PS4 exclusives?" I was like, "Sure. What have you got that's like an Xbox exclusive?" And he was like, "Nothing." I was like, why would I want to swap it then? And he was like, there aren't really exclusives on Xbox anymore. I was just like, okay, no,
not good ones.
We're not going to do that then.
Should we just kick off with Xbox? We're talking about Xbox. Let's kick off with the Xbox stuff. Let's go.
That works for me because on my list that I've got on my other screen, Microsoft are at the top, and that'll be all the Xbox stuff. So.
Perfect. So there is a couple of games I'm actually interested in this year with
Halo,
Xbox.
right?
Halo, yeah. You hit the nail on the head. So even Taylor knows. I'm a big Halo fan, or I was a big Halo fan. Let me reiterate that. Halo 2 was my favorite game for years and years. If we don't count WoW, because World of Warcraft is an MMO and this different, you know. But yeah, it was my favorite game for years, and I loved it. I loved Halo 1, I loved Halo 2, I liked 3 quite a lot. I loved Halo Reach. I even liked ODST. A lot of people didn't like Halo ODST. I really liked it.
I loved ODST.
Yeah,
I really
enjoyed
ODST.
A lot of people really didn't like it. And so I was a huge Halo fan, and then Halo 4 came out, and it was disappointing, to say the least. I really didn't enjoy Halo 4 as much as the other ones, and I was like, okay, every series has a bad game, sure. Halo 5 came out, though, and I said, why did you even bother? It was, sorry, but it was trash. And not only was it trash, like the campaign was trash, like Halo 4 campaign was trash. The multiplayer of Halo 5 was the weakest multiplayer any Halo has ever had. And they tried so hard to like Call of Duty-fy it. Like they added in like a card pack system where you could spawn in vehicles from essentially microtransactions. And it just felt so weak that I was just... It killed it. It killed the Halo franchise for me. And I honestly I just didn't give a shit about any Halo game since then. I didn't care about the RTS that they brought out. I didn't care about anything. I was kind of done with Halo, which was a big deal for me. And so when they announced Halo Infinite at last year's E3, I looked at the trailer, and at the time it was funny. I remember last year everyone was like, is it going to be a battle royale? Because this time last year everything was battle royale. Like that's all everyone gave a shit about. Which nothing really changed, but so everyone last year was like, is it going to be a battle royale? Because it's like Halo Infinite, like why is it not Halo 6? Why is it not Halo, you know, whatever? Why is it Infinite? So a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be a battle royale. But they've actually come out and said now that they're going back to their roots, and I'm like, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm like, I hope they do. I honestly.
So
hope
what would you expect from it if it were to be like back to its roots?
Stellar single player campaign, because Halo one to Reach had amazing stories, these big dramatic stories with really solid character development and really good world building. And after Halo 2, you really started to learn about the enemies. They went into the enemies' backstory and their lore. So, have you ever played a Halo game, Taylor? Have you played Halo?
I did. I think I played the first two.
Yeah, so you know a little bit about the story.
But that's like a long time ago now, like years.
Yeah, it is. Well, they're actually bringing them out again. They're bringing out some of them onto PC for the first time ever with updated graphics, which is nice. So, maybe a chance to play them again. But there was two components to a really good Halo game. You had an absolutely stellar campaign, and then you had very, very good multiplayer as well. And I honestly feel like Halo used to be on the same level as Call of Duty. Whereas I feel like Call of Duty was a bit more popular with the younger crowd, Halo was definitely more popular with the traditional gaming crowd. And yeah, that's what I expect. I expect it to have a bit of both. And
I'm thinking about my long time Halo experience, and we used to wire my Xboxes together because you couldn't do
we did that. Yeah.
wireless.
Yeah, you'd have two televisions, and you'd have four on each Xbox. So you'd have 4 on one, 4 on another if you could. Some of my greatest gaming moments on a console were from Halo. We did the same thing.
Yeah. My dad was so obsessed with Halo that he built this hole in the wall where we could stack 2 small TVs, and then to put each player on their own screen, and then wire the box together, which is so old now when you think about it.
I was going to say, nowadays when you think about it, it's like, what are you doing?
But that's the whole point. That's what Halo was. It was a game that you were willing to go and do that stuff for because it was so much fun and you were desperate to play it with other people. And so a good example of what you've just said there of why Halo's gone downhill is that the last Halo game didn't even have co-op, split screen co-op on the multiplayer or on the campaign. So you couldn't even do that. You had to be online with lots of Xboxes, which to be honest, no one cared about because no one liked Halo 5. Oh god, there's gonna be one person in the comments now who's like, I actually loved Halo 5, it was the best one.
I'm glad that person in the comments, I'm glad you had fun with it, just none of us did.
No, same. I'm
well
glad
done you
had fun with it. Yeah, well done. I don't know why.
You managed to have fun in Halo 5. Congratulations, you did it.
Congratulations. But no, I really don't like what the latter two Halos stood for. They were, I felt like, I don't want to rag on 343. For those who don't know, the original ones were done by Bungie, which we know Bungie is a fantastic studio. And then Bungie left to go and work on Destiny, and they passed over the torch to 343. And I'm not going to lie, the two games we've had from 343, I just really didn't like. So I don't know whether, just not the studio just isn't up to it, or maybe they just didn't have the same passion for it. I don't know, which is why I'm a little bit still concerned, because I'm in my opinion the one of the things that made Halo so great was Bungie. They made Halo and they're not making Halo, so I'm kind of I really want to get excited for Halo Infinite. They're saying it's going back to its roots, they're saying that it's going to be what made Halo great. No, I don't know if they are though. I don't know.
I kind of see it the same as I see Death Stranding and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people being like, oh, but will they, won't they? I like to go into it with an open mind of maybe they do. Maybe they do bring Halo back to what made it amazing, and maybe we get a great Halo game, and I would be happy with that.
I would be over the moon. You're muted, Taylor. Taylor, you're muted. I can't hear you.
The problem is you pay for it and it's a risk. You don't know if it's going to be good.
Exactly.
Sorry, I was typing and you hate my keyboard when I type.
It's okay.
You mean your typewriter that you've hooked up to a computer?
I thought Cherokees would be just a dream. They've turned into a nightmare.
I really don't mind it.
Corsair
I know I give
stealth.
you shit. I really don't mind the sound of the keys. It doesn't bother me.
I want a Corsair stealth keyboard so bad. Because
I
like keyboard, but I hate the
I know.
I like the clickety-clack sound. But no, yeah, I'm the same with you guys. I would love for this one to be an amazing, return to form for Halo. I just feel like if they failed with 2 games, what's the reason that they failed? Was it time restraints? Was it lack of experience? What was it? What made those games
they
fail?
just wanted to put something, maybe they saw the Bungie games and they were like, cool, we like what you've done there, but we want to put our own spin on it as a development team. It could literally just be something like that. They wanted to put their own.
What spin did they put on there? There was no spin. It was a bad spin if they did spin. They should spin it back. Like, but this is why I'm concerned. I feel like if we'd had an announcement that, hey, you never know, maybe there will be an announcement. Maybe they're like, hey, we brought back some of the Bungie guys. I would probably cry tears of happiness.
We hired Bungie.
Yeah, we outsourced the game to Bungie. Please do that. But no, so I am remaining unconvinced until I see, especially until I see some gameplay. Gameplay will be an indicator, but still, I want to know that the multiplayer isn't going to have those microtransaction bollocks. You know, I don't want these card packs that you put in last time. I don't want to be able to spawn in a Scorpion, which is one of the most powerful vehicles in the game, in the first 5 seconds of the match because I paid a few dollars. Like, no, I don't want that. And they really tried to make the last multiplayer very Call of Duty-fied, and I hated that. Like, Halo has always been a bit more... it's always been a bit more slower paced multiplayer because you have a way higher time to kill. And so it was always a bit more slower paced. But that's what I loved about it. I loved that slower pace. If I wanted Call of Duty, I'd go play Call of Duty. So they really like lowered the time to kill in that game. And it really didn't work for me. So I am skeptical, as I always am. But I really do hope that they knock it out of the park and that it convinces me to play an Xbox again. Because I don't know what console it's coming to. Is it coming to the Xbox or the next Xbox? I don't know. But I just hope it's great. I hope it's...
Well, Microsoft have been talking a lot about making it so that they've got a lot more games that if you buy on Xbox, you also get it on PC. So
yeah,
I think they might
have
be
already
pushing
started doing that with the...
Yes, they've got on the Microsoft Store. There's some games that just go across both, but like,
yeah,
I think a lot of what they're going to do going forward, if they're serious about that like initiative, then I think everything that they're releasing from now, you're probably going to find it's just Xbox PC across, which seems a really weird concept because they're going to kill off their own console. Well, not kill off, but like it's going to affect sales of their console. One of the reasons PlayStation does so good is because the exclusives that they have, like.
I feel maybe, without going on a huge tangent, I do feel maybe at the moment, like, these companies are just doing whatever they can do to make the money. Because we know that the video game industry right now is in a low patch. When I say low patch, they're still making a lot of money, but we know that there are mass layoffs, we know that game sales are down, we know that games like Fortnite are dominating the industry at the moment. We know that it's a tough time for them, and again, tough with a pinch of salt. Not tough like people at home who can't have, don't have money for food. Tough like, oh, we can't buy a second yacht this week. But still, we know this, and so we know that I think at the moment they're basically just trying to do anything they can to make that money. And hey, if that means that these companies are doing pro-consumer practices like bringing their games to multiple platforms, fantastic, brilliant. I'm happy about it. But that's Halo. Speaking generally about Xbox, there's a lot of rumors that there's going to be a 3 console model. I don't know if this has been confirmed yet, but there's rumors that there's going to be a free console model for Xbox, which is kind of interesting. And I think we're going to get a little bit of more info on that at E3. But what the speculation is that there's going to be 3 tiers, and the first tier is a streaming console, which is essentially you just can only stream games to it, which is going to be like a budget Xbox console. Then there's going to be their like main console like they have now, and then there's going to be like a premium console, which is better graphics, more money, better graphics. So that's something interesting. I mean, I feel like having a cheaper console that's a bit more accessible is a good idea in this climate. I think that it kind
of depends how they make it cheaper.
Well, I feel like it's definitely not going to have a disk drive, because we already know they're talking about having an Xbox Scorpio, I think, or Xbox One S without a disk drive. So I'm going to assume it's going to have no disk drive. You can't put discs in it. You can only stream games to it. And hey, I mean, for people like me who barely ever use my Xbox, it might be a good idea.
It just gets rid of it, because a lot of the games I buy secondhand.
Yeah.
So not an option for me, because most of the games I buy are secondhand. But
yeah, which I can't do, because most of my games I play on PC, and you can't get secondhand PC games, which is one of the very few bad points of being a PC gamer. But no, that's something that I'm gonna look at, and I'm gonna be interested to see how they spin it, because we know these big companies will always spin bullshit to sound like it's gold. We know they always do that, so we'll see what they come out with. But I do think having options for consoles is not necessarily a bad thing, and I'd rather they had 3 consoles out the gate than be like, oh hey, buy our console, and then like 6 months later be like, oh, this one's got a bigger hard drive, buy this one too, because that's what they do at the moment, and I really don't like it. So that's that. Gears of War. Anybody here a Gears of War fan? Gears of War 5 is going to have
Gears
details.
of War went a bit off the rails. I played Gears of War up to Gears of War 3 and really enjoyed Gears. The multiplayer in 3 was amazing. I think I have 4 on the Microsoft Store, which some of the co-op multiplayer, they basically had like one where it's just waves and waves of locusts come at you. Like, actually, that was really fun. But the story was just, it went a bit mad, I think.
Well, Gears is another one of those used to be a big titan for Xbox. You know, Gears and Halo were like system sellers, and they were the big boys of the gaming world. And now they're both like, no, they don't. No one really gives a shit. And honestly, anymore.
Well, I think when they wrote it, they kind of went, "Cool, we'll make a trilogy of games, and it'll be great." And it was. And then you got to the end of the story on 3, and they were like, "We could get more money out of this." And I think they came out with 4, and then.
Which again I never played. I had no interest in. Honestly, from the reviews.
Did you see the announcement video for the Gears Pop game? When people were like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Like it was like Gears stuff, and they were like, "Oh, Gears 5, and then it was like Funko Pops, and it was just like you could literally feel the crowd going like, "Why?"
Yeah, which if they'd announced alongside Gears of War 5, it would have been fine. It would have been fine, but everyone was like, "What? Why Gears Funko Pops?
Why?
Why?" But no, there's a little bit of speculation about Gears of War 5 that it's going to be a little bit of an open world kind of game, which
please no, why? Not every game has to be open world.
The same thing I say about every open world game. If it makes sense and it makes the game more interesting, fine. If it's a smaller open world with not like Rage's open world where there was literally nothing to do in it, like if it's a smaller open world experience but you've got the locust swarms and you can kind of choose your own way to go, then it could work really well. We've never had an open world Gears of War. It could be great.
I think that's a reason we haven't had an open world Gears of War. It doesn't make any sense for the story, like. But
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know. It could do.
I literally was just saying like, "Oh, I try going to these things, being like, oh, it could be really good," and then Gears of War open world, I'm like, no.
Immediately shutting it down. I don't know. I feel like it could work. I'll wait and see. Again, it's all speculation at this point. We don't know. I'll wait and see what they're coming out with Gears of War. If it's not something really interesting, though, I probably just won't bother because I haven't really bothered with Gears of War since 3, and honestly, 3 wasn't my favorite. 1 and 2 for me were the best. So I'm kind of like, again, same as Halo, the series died off. They just didn't give it the love and the creativity and the innovation that it needed. So we shall see about that. Something that is interesting me though, another rumor is people are speculating we might get another Fable game.
I have seen that prospectively we will get Fable 4.
Which is, I would say, was at one point highly anticipated. But Taylor, are you a Fable fan? Do you like Fable? Have you ever played Fable?
I'm pretty sure that... Kate, you know how I was telling you about this game that I like, this infamous game that I can't remember the name of? Yeah. I'm like, I just went and Googled it. I'm like, was it Fable? I think it was Fable.
It's where you can be good and evil, and your character changes how they look.
This is the exact game, and this is what I was trying to tell you. And I'm like, remember, like you can, like, you have to bring everybody down into a cave and sacrifice them. And
Fable 3.
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
That's the game I played. Yes, and I'm like, I can't remember the name. And I played it on console too. Yeah.
Fable 2, easily best Fable. Fable 1, like the storyline was really good, but I didn't like the combat. But 3 was like okay. But like the problem with 3 was well, the problem with 3 was you had to be completely good or completely bad.
Yeah.
Otherwise you were just shafted. There was no.
The problem with 3 was it kind of like, so it had this sort of like, you know, slow build of a game like all RPGs do, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, now there's all of this. Now you're a king or queen, and now you've got to do all this in 5 minutes, and that's it. And it was like kind of like they didn't let you, because the whole premise of Fable 3 was that you were going to be like the king or the queen of the kingdom, and that was only in the last like half an hour of the game, and it was just kind of like, oh, it felt like an info dump. But I was a huge fan of Fable 1 and 2. I really liked the way that your choices mattered in. I mean, they didn't really matter to the story all that much, but what they did matter to was how the world treated you and how you looked. Like, I really liked going. If you've never played Fable, you can be good or evil, and every choice that you make usually has a little bit of karma either way. And if you get far enough on one end of the spectrum, you start to actually change and evolve. Like, as a good example is, if you go too evil, you start to grow horns, and you know, you start to like have like an aura of red and flies, and people will like cower in fear from you. Whereas if you go really good, you start to get like a halo, and people are like, yay, it's the hero.
Also, just that, but like depending on what skills you use as well. If you go like a melee build, you'll get muscly. If you go an archer build, you get taller, and if you go magic build, you get like these like magic tattoos. So like they really went all in on the, like, depending on how you play this game, like your character will literally evolve with that playstyle.
Yeah, and they're only smaller, you know, like cosmetic things, but they like that. I really found that fun. I really found it fun. And in fact, in Fable 2, you could set the prices. You could buy property and set the prices. And if you set the prices too high, you get way loads of gold. But then everyone went super poor, and even the town started to become poor. So I remember on my evil playthrough of Fable 2, I bought every house in the city, and I put the price to max. And within like a week, like people were out in the streets like begging for money. funny and like crying, and it was glorious. I loved it.
Mhm.
I was a tyrant. But yeah, so I'm really a fan of the Fable series. That was my chair. I'm really a fan of the Fable series, and I do feel like Fable went like a lot of these series that we're talking about, like Gears and Halo, where they just kind of petered off because they sort of either lost their way or they were kind of milking it. And did we ever get that Fable game that was supposed to be like a top-down strategy? Did that ever happen?
I never saw anything about it.
I never saw it either. I mean, let me know in the comments if it did come out, because I don't know. So if it is a Fable game and it's a proper Fable game, not a VR crap, not any of that, if it's an actual proper RPG, I will be intrigued. Does Peter Molyneux still even work for Lionhead anymore?
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. But I'll be interested. I'll be interested in Fable. I would love a good Fable game. I think that would be fantastic. That would be something that I would potentially.
If you get that dog again, I'm fucking well keen.
Yeah, you got a dog in 2.
Fable 2 got a dog
as well. I think you got one in 2. Was it just 2?
No dogs in 3.
But your dog went good or evil like you did as well. So
yeah.
Your dog went to like a devil
the dog was just so cool. I mean, like, you taught it tricks, and depending on the tricks you got, you could like do different things. Please, if you're listening, Lionhead, give me the dog back. I want more dogs.
Every game needs a doggo. It's very, very true. But yeah, so I feel like Xbox have got all of these really interesting games that I'm really like interested in, and they just need to not fuck up. That's all they need to do. They just need to not screw them up. Like, don't come out with like, oh yeah, here's the Halo, and here's some like loot boxes as well. You know, like just don't mess them up.
What is Minecraft Dungeon supposed to be?
I don't know. Minecraft
I don't know.
Dungeons...
They've literally just said like it's that's what we're doing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing that now. So basically, just to clear up for everyone viewing, I put together a list of just like, here are all the games that like are expected. Here are the ones that are unlikely. And I've just like sent that list over to Taylor, because I didn't have enough time to, because I was streaming earlier.
Adventure role playing game.
Oh my god! It's a Diablo. It is. Look at the pictures. It is a Diablo Minecraft game.
Is it an ARPG?
It looks like it. It's like almost isometric, top-down-ish.
This is research, folks, live on the podcast. Oh my god, it is.
I mean, interesting. Minecraft is having a resurgence.
It is. It's having a big resurgence right now.
So I've seen like on Twitch, like over the last like couple of weeks, I've seen so many like really odd games get these like. So I've seen a few streamers, bigger streamers, who are suddenly out of nowhere just playing like really old IP. And with E3 coming up, I'm almost like, because I love a conspiracy. I'm like, are people trying to be like, okay, we'll get some of these bigger streamers and we'll get them to like stream this old IP, and then when we reboot it this week, people will be prepped for it and know the games.
Possibly.
That would be smart.
Possibly. I mean,
it would be a smart move. Like,
it would be so predictable
really
if that was to happen, though. Because I mean, like, if we're talking about bigger streamers, which are usually companies pick on the bigger streamers because bigger reach, right? If a bigger streamer just suddenly was like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm not playing Apex Legends today. I'm gonna play, I don't know, Baldur's Gate."
But the ones that I've seen are people that normally play like kind of a bit of this, bit of that. So like, Elspeth Eastman was playing Kingdoms of Amalur yesterday to like 3,500 people.
Okay, so taking that as an example, like Kingdoms of Amalur failed. I highly doubt we're going to get
Kingdoms of Amalur has a big following.
Yeah, but it failed.
It didn't do very well in the market. Do very well,
and in fact, the studio shut down after making it. So I highly doubt we're going to get a Kingdoms of Amalur. We could. I tell you what, right? I'm going to tell you right now, and we're streaming this. So if we get a Kingdoms of Amalur announcement, I will eat 10 bean boozled or something. I don't know. We'll do something bad. But
I thought it was going to be like, I will give you money. I was like,
I don't have any money. What am I supposed to give you? I don't have money. Hashtag donate to charity to me. But yeah, no, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like you are going a little bit tinfoil hat there, but I just think my theory is a lot of people are just getting really sick of modern AAA new releases. And I feel like games like Fallout 76, Anthem, all of these big games that people just went met on. I think people are just looking for good games to play, and they're having to look back now rather than looking forward. So I think a lot of people are going back to the games that they know and love. And I think this is why we're seeing a lot of these resurging remasters and remakes, because people are looking back to the games that they love. So we're seeing all these Resident Evil. They're remaking A Link to the Past as well, which I'm super excited, because that was the first RPG I ever played. I played it on the SNES when I was a kid. I was like 6. So, in fact, I was younger than that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But anyway, Back on track. We'll see if we get a Kingdoms of Amalur announcement. That's pretty much everything on Xbox. I think we've covered everything that I'm interested in.
You've missed the bit that I'm really interested
Okay, what are
in,
you interested
which is apparently Microsoft are giving Rare a slot. So Rare obviously came out with Sea of Thieves last year.
Yeah.
But going back into the obviously there's a lot of old IP coming back. They made games like Banjo-Kazooie, they made Conker's Bad Fur Day, some really good open kind of platformy, very amusing, kid-friendly, some adult humor
Basically
games.
N64 games.
Yeah, so obviously they also did GoldenEye on the N64. So I'm
which
a bit
was an amazing game.
GoldenEye is a fantastic.
That was one of the first ever split screen shooter games I ever played. I remember playing that with my friends, and it was weird and crazy.
Which is really weird as well, because also in this, and that's something they've got apparently there is a Battletoads game that is guaranteed to come out with Microsoft, and Rare made the original Battletoads, so
fair.
And that would mean that Rare has 2 slots, potentially.
Fair. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, I'm not really that interested in a lot of Rare's modern stuff, so we'll see.
I liked Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was fun, but I can't see them doing another open multiplayer game.
I didn't like that game. I probably played 10 hours or so and couldn't.
Did you play on your own? Did you play with a crew?
I played with people. Yeah.
Oh, fair. Because I played with a crew and we had a great time for a very short period. We ran out of content very, very quickly, but the content that we played, really fun.
I played once with a full crew, of my friends, and then I played again with my friend Keisha, who also streams and stuff, and she and I matched with these 2 random guys that were friends, and I think that was more fun, meeting the random people and then doing these things, and they were really nice because we were obviously completely new, not knowing how to play, and we're like, can you teach us? And then I don't know, I just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I had no interest, honestly. From what I saw of the launch stuff, I just looked at it and was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this. I just wanted Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
When I saw it, I really was excited, and then in reality, it was no.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they made it less drop in, drop out. So they basically were oh yeah, we're gonna make it so there's not really any progression, so that you can just drop in, drop out. It means that if you meet someone on the sea, it's an even match between you. But it just meant that you didn't get any progression, which is one of my favorite things in games, is progressing, upgrading, getting perks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of progression.
I think that's actually when you say that, that's definitely what it didn't do it for me, is the fact that you
weren't working towards goals. You weren't if you get these perks, you go faster, or you get more guns.
This is my whole problem with games trying to be like Minecraft, because with Minecraft, I can't play vanilla Minecraft anymore. Bores the hell out of me. But with mods, where a lot of the mods are what adds the progression, I can play Minecraft. And so I feel like one of the reasons why Minecraft was so successful for so many years was because there were so many different ways to play it, and people like you who do like progression, and me, we can play that, and people who like open world sandbox, they can play it. And so I feel like these games that are a bit more open world sandboxy, where they're oh, here's a world, go and play, and you're like,
but what do I do in it?
Yeah, why do I
First time I played Minecraft, that's literally what happened to me. I launched the game and it was look at this world, you can build whatever you want. And I was but what should I build?
Yeah.
And the game was you can build anything. And I was yeah, but what do I need to
I could literally go outside, go to a playpen. You can't do that as an adult. You know what I'm saying? I could go and play Play-Doh or sand or something. That's the same thing.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I was saying you could, if you're just telling me that you can go into a Minecraft world and just build whatever you want, I could do that out in the real world. I could go build something for real. It's the same. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a bad analogy, all right? Don't go to playgrounds or playpens. You're not allowed.
Don't build stuff in them as well. What's wrong with you?
Well, look, I'm saying...
I went to the playpen and I built a house out of mud.
I could go to the store, buy some Play-Doh. In fact, I would rather go to the store, buy some Play-Doh or some Lego. Lego, better analogy. I could go to the store and buy some Lego and have more fun than just playing Minecraft vanilla. Honestly, I could.
I have a huge bag of Play-Doh that I use for work, so I'm just I play with Play-Doh.
Don't ever give any more context than that. Just leave it there. People who don't know what your job is will be like, what the
in the comments below, try and guess what I do for a living.
Yeah, please do. I want to see your best guess. What do you do with Play-Doh for a job? Oh, can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Is it you know how when you do like little modeling for CGI? Do you do that but without Play-Doh, like really shit ones for like really shit indie
stop
games?
animation.
Yeah.
Do you think
yeah,
if
that's
I
what I meant.
did you think if I worked in a company doing stop animation that I would be like, what am I going to put on YouTube? I'd be doing
true.
stop animation flat out.
True. Very, very true.
Maybe I should start doing stop animation with my Play-Doh.
Maybe you should. Like a shit version, like a joke version. Like just
Let's
really,
be honest,
really
it's
bad.
not going to be a good version.
Yeah, that stuff takes a long time. But did you have anything else you wanted to talk about Xbox before I move on? Because I pretty much covered the stuff I wanted to cover on Xbox.
Not really. Forza's in there.
I
Great.
could not give any less of a shit about a driving game.
Age of Empires is in there, which I have a few friends that are
What Age
huge
of Empires? What Age of Empires is coming out?
Age of Empires 4.
Really?
Well, it's a possible announcement.
Oh right, okay. I was gonna say because I used to love Age of Empires. It was the first like proper PC game I got into, so I could get into that.
There's something marked down as unlikely, which is their HoloLens 2, which is their new VR headset.
Also,
but if it's marked as unlikely, probably
couldn't give a shit.
I really want to start doing some VR stuff, but I don't have the room or the money.
Same. That's why I don't give a shit. I'm like, I can't do it anyway, even if I wanted to. So I just don't get excited.
I need Taylor's Lady. How much room there is behind? It's just so much
I know. It's the Canadians. They've got so much land.
You get so much VR going on.
Oh my god.
My family is like huge into video games, as I've told you, but we're waiting for the price to come down because it's too much for what.
Yeah, VR
Which
is
once
just
the
too
new
expensive.
stuff like the HoloLens and that comes out, then it will drop down. So, but no, that's Xbox. Let's move on because we've been on Xbox for quite a bit. There's a couple of random games that I want to talk about. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Is anyone excited?
Which EA?
Yeah,
it's EA. So no,
it is EA. Well, I kind of agree with you, but I also kind of don't. So it's confirmed that there's going to be no microtransactions, which we've heard that before.
In what words did they confirm it?
Yeah, we've heard that before.
They said in Battlefront 2, they were like, no pay to win. It's just this card system that you pay us to have cards that improve your characters.
Which make you win.
Yeah.
It's not pay to win. It's just pay to have it slightly easier than everyone else.
Yeah, it's not pay to win. It's just pay to not lose as much. But yeah, no, so well, here's the thing. I agree with you, and I am literally the Grumpy Brit. I am one of the most cynical people you will ever meet. But even me, in my head, I'm like, well, what a publicity stunt would this be for these big companies, right? We know what a colossal failure Battlefront 2 was. After Battlefront 1 was an okay game, it did all right. Battlefront 2 came out and completely flopped. It got slated online. In fact, I think Battlefront 2 was the first major AAA release from a company that I noticed that got slated all over the place. Like, it was the first time that I actually saw loads of YouTube videos and loads of people being like, this is not good enough. And it got all the, got the conversation talking about microtransactions and loot boxes and pay to win, and on a scale that I'd never seen before. And so what a publicity stunt would it be? They've said that it's going to be a single player experience. We know it's single player. We know it's going to have some melee combat in there. You are a Jedi, so you're going to have some, people are calling it like Dark Souls style combat. Dark Soul style combat, which I think people are just reaching there. But anyway, we'll see.
Probably,
but if this game comes out, and people have been saying we need, because EA have not done anything with the Star Wars license of note. Nothing good with the Star Wars license. We used to have tons of amazing Star Wars games in the past, and yet they've done nothing with it. So
give me another KOTOR. Give me more KOTORs.
Yeah,
I would play
this game we know is going to be set in between films 3 and 4. So it's set in the time where basically the Jedi are being hunted to extinction. We know this. So it's potentially going to have a good storyline, and it's going to be a single player experience, and people are saying it's going to have no microtransactions, no multiplayer crap. This could be an amazing game. It could be an amazing game. It could be, what was the last good single player Star Wars game we got? What was it called?
Force Unleashed?
Yeah, Force Unleashed. That was the last real good Star Wars
game. Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah, Force Unleashed 2. So that was a while ago. So I'm really like, you have a real opportunity here. Like, and it's made by Respawn too. They made Titanfall. They made Apex Legends. So they're good. They're a good
battle
studio.
royale.
It's single player battle royale. You just win automatically. That would be paid to win.
It's just bots.
But no, like, even though I didn't like Apex Legends, I still think it was a very polished and it was a very well-developed game, even though I didn't personally like it. So, yeah, I'm giving Respawn a chance here. Like, I feel like this is the Star Wars game people have been asking for a long time. And, as long as the story's good, as long as the gameplay's good, I don't really care about the graphics. I mean, the trailers look great, but who knows? So, yeah, good opportunity. I'm really looking forward to this one. I quite like Star Wars. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but like, I really enjoyed the films. In fact, the Star Wars 4 Yeah, Star Wars 4 was the first film I ever saw in the cinema, and then I saw 5 and 6 when they remastered it. So big fan. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good opportunity, and I think that it could be, if this game sells really well as well. I know this is kind of going back to what we were saying last week, Elliot. If this game sells really well, it will set that precedent to EA that, hey, our last big multiplayer Star Wars did crap. This one did great. Maybe we were wrong when we said single player was dead. Maybe.
Yeah.
Which I would be all for, honestly.
I mean, I'd love to see another good Star Wars game. I think it's going to be more Force Unleashed than it is going to be Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
So kind of like that very hack and slash. Not really Devil May Cry, more like Darksiders-ish combat.
Any of these games, like if they have combat like that with lightsabers, I'm sold.
If you give me those games, if you give me like a Darksiders that's basically you are a Jedi, I'll play it.
Exactly.
Like I'm up for it. And realistically, nothing else that EA are coming out with at the moment really fusses me too much.
Yeah,
Dragon Age
same,
maybe, but
same. I never really got into Dragon Age. I'm kind of the same with EA. It's my.
You don't care about FIFA?
I would rather.
Wait, they're releasing the same game again? I'll take it.
20.
FIFA 45. I
Although
think
I've
I would
marked down
rather
that
play
they're new to
backgammon than FIFA.
Backgammon's really exciting. I have a guy at work who is like, backgammon's really interesting because when you put the gambling into it, apparently it gets real.
Oh god,
So,
you sound
don't
like
tell
EA.
about it.
Stop it. Stop putting
Yeah, I was gonna
gambling
say,
in
don't tell
things.
it.
We don't need any more gambling. Jesus Christ, loot boxes and backgammon now. I don't want to live in this world. Don't wanna
Staying
live
with
in
the
it.
EA stuff though.
And then obviously you don't care about season 2 of Apex Legends because you guys
Not at all.
didn't care.
Not at all. Well, speaking of Apex, we've talked about this at length. I have my theory on Apex Legends. I do think the only reason Apex Legends blew up the way that it did was because a lot of streamers were hoping it was going to be their Ninja game, which made them as successful as Ninja. And as soon as all these streamers went, oh, I'm not making millions of money on Twitch, I haven't got thousands of viewers, they all went back to their games that they preferred more. I really don't think Apex was that good of a game. I think it was, I'd rather have time.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoyed it for that day.
Out of all the battle royale games, so I've played Fortnite, I've played PUBG, I've played whatever else there is. I liked Apex the best out of battle royale games that I played.
Are you playing it now?
No, but to be fair, I'm not a big battle royale fan.
Yeah.
So
yeah. See, I really don't. I don't mind the genre. I just don't. I think Apex Legends was. I had a lot of design flaws with it that just made my experience not as good. I've spoken at this at length. Just go watch the other episodes of the podcast if you missed that.
We did.
But,
We did a full episode on it.
I don't think another season pass is going to save Apex Legends. I think Apex Legends is kind of donezo. I think it was a huge success of a game for a little while, and now it's a middling game. It's a middling game, and it's going to stay that way. I don't think it's going to have another resurgence. And again, because I think that the only reason it had this giant explosion was because everybody was trying to stream it and become the next Ninja. They wanted to be that next big smash at success, and nobody was.
I also see that they have a new The Sims. Are they talking about Sims 5 or are they talking about the new pack?
I'm interested to see.
No.
I'm interested to see whether it is a new The Sims, because at the moment, if you want to buy The Sims 4 and all the expansions with it, you're talking like £180 or something. It's
more than that
ridiculous.
now. Definitely more.
I sat and counted up a while back.
Yeah.
It is too much money now to be like, I want The Sims 4 and all of its content.
I shamefully own probably 70% of
Well,
that.
I own nearly all of it because a lot of when I streamed it.
I was going to say, as a streamer,
well, did you?
You'll get like
did
a viewer
you
be like, here's a pack because I want to see it.
Did you get Strangerville?
Nope. No, I stopped playing by then.
So the next one is supposed to be like a tropical vacation destination. I can't remember the name exactly, but I was like watching. So I like The Sims, guys. And I was watching and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play that. So,
I mean, I feel like if you're going to use a slot in E3, it's not worth doing it based on a pack. So it might be The Sims 5.
I disagree with that. I think Sims has a solid community.
Well, it depends because they have different versions of packs. So they have stuff packs, they have expansion packs, and then they have another
it could be like
another
a full
pack.
expansion.
So they have full expansions that cost $50 or $60 now. So that's the price of the game.
Yeah.
So I know that
as Elliott was saying that it's it's too much to there's too many packs now, they can't keep adding more. Well, if they start a new game though, then that's asking them people to spend even more, knowing that
to lose out on all their old packs as well, because
exactly.
The old packs
and this is the eternal problem with Sims.
They may have stuck themselves in a hole there.
I don't see anything wrong with the current Sims as it is, like with the packs being
I wouldn't
added.
if they
Like,
lowered the
I
price.
don't know. Yes, but I don't know how you can make a Sims 5 and like
Maybe the new
really
thing
like
is, like,
fundamentally
just a complete
change
pack.
anything.
Well, they didn't with 3 and 4 though. Like this is the whole like when Sims 3 was before 4 came out, everyone was like, "Why are they making Sims 4? What's the point?" And yet then everyone went out and bought Sims 4, and then people keep buying it. Until people stop buying it, they'll keep doing it. Like it makes
Right.
sense from a business standpoint
like,
for them.
Yeah, I just don't like every time you buy like a new pack in Sims 4. I didn't really play Sims 3, so I don't know if I'm like
There's very little difference between 3 and 4, honestly. And from a mechanic standpoint, very little difference. From a quality standpoint, it looks a bit prettier, but that's about it. Honestly, they're
Right.
very similar games.
So I don't know. Like I would assume that's what it is. Is this
I mean, it could
new
always be. It
expansion?
could always be community stuff, you know. Like I said earlier, I cannot remember the names of the Sims community. Like we have Dead by Daylight Fog Whisperers. We have something similar with the Sims where they'll take community members and they'll be like, "Hey, we'll give you early access previews to stuff."
I can't. Yeah, because like I follow someone Deligracy and like Simlicy and like a whole bunch of other Simmers, and like I can't remember the name of what they are
No, I
either.
can't
But
remember either.
they had I don't know if it was that they accidentally released it or they had given like the sale of the new Sims expansion to companies and they put it up as like a pre-sale, so they kind of like released it without actually meaning to, or like they weren't supposed to, and that's what's coming out. So I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, again, I don't currently play The Sims. I like The Sims, but I only really usually like it in short bursts. The only reason I played it heavily was because I was streaming it and my community really enjoyed it and I really enjoyed it. But then I got bored of it like I always do. So I'm at that moment where at the moment I have like zero interest in The Sims, but I will get that interest back later on. But
So,
we'll see.
Yeah, like for me, I don't know what it is, but like I have a fascination with like miniature building and like all those types of videos that are like calming and relaxing.
Yeah.
And the Sims building YouTube
Hang on a
videos.
minute. Did you not call me a nerd for streaming a Warhammer painting?
Hypocrisy.
So you know, I went through a phase where I watched these miniature building videos, and then someone gave me one for my birthday, and I did it, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm never doing this again." It was horrible.
Yeah.
But like the Sims building is something that I actually really enjoy, and I do like I never do it on stream, but I do it like I even did it last night. So I don't know. I'm like kind of excited about the new pack, and like I know what you feel about like how it feels very like repetitive and like you don't really go anywhere and like it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited because like I did dine out. I did get to work. I did Strangerville. Like I've played through all of those. So
But you've already admitted you didn't play 3, and for me, a lot of what I was doing in 4, I'd already done in 3. So I feel like that's maybe why I got burnt out on it a little bit quicker than you did. But we'll be watching this. We're watching this together. So you know, EA plays on Sunday tomorrow. So
I'm excited. I'm excited if that's what it is.
It's today. It's later today for people watching this video.
Guys, what if they bring out basically like a spiritual successor to Sims Busting Out? Do you ever play Sims Busting Out?
I did play Sims Busting Out.
That game was amazing.
Was it on PC or was it on a console? Because
It was on like I had it on the GameCube.
I'm sure I
think I had it on Xbox. Didn't we go through my thing and I
had
did?
It? Yeah.
We
So I definitely did. Yeah. Okay.
But it was like it was The Sims, but with like basically a linear story, and there was progression. You move like house to house to house. And
yeah,
I
definitely played that. Yeah,
I really enjoyed Busting Out. And then they made the herbs, and the herbs was really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it's like a linear Sims game. I would play that if they bring out
kind of what Strangerville was. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It didn't. Strangerville had like a story, but you didn't really have to like work up to anything in terms of like money or like things like that. Like you went around and like talked to different Sims to like uncover the like conspiracy like that's happening of these alien plants. And like it was more a story that like for linear wise, but it wasn't like you had to have any sort of like progression in terms of earning, which is like kind of what living is, like earning enough money to upgrade, which Bustin' Out was, but like that's not what Strangerville was. So
because a lot of like Busting Out was like, oh, if you get like this skill to this thing in this household, you'll like unlock certain items. and like it was much more progression based.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would play that
Yeah.
if they brought out Busting Out 2.
Well, you never know. You never
Yeah.
know. We'll wait till see what they are announcing on
Now I'm
later
actually
on
really
today.
interested to see the EA stuff.
Because we're not allowed time jumps. Elliot gets confused. But yeah, it's today.
I don't get confused. I just
Why don't
hate
you
them.
just talk like it's the day it is?
Because I forget. It's Friday right now. But people watch it on Saturday because I've got to edit this, and, I've got to edit it and
Friday.
upload it and render it. It takes ages. Anyway, moving on. Before we give Elliot an aneurysm, a couple more games I want to go about. I want to have a quick chat about. Marvel's Avengers.
I am really interested to see what Square do with it. I'm
Same.
a big Square fan. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a big thing with Square as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be main part of Square. Square's, by the way, Square's showcase
I
show is
don't know.
pre-recorded.
I think they might go bigger into. Have you seen this Outriders game?
No.
They're making it's a first-person sci-fi game. They're thinking it might be like a shooting kind of shooty game.
Okay.
I think that might be their big thing. But like Marvel's Avengers, like will be definitely a part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's confirmed. I mean, it's
would be-
they've shown a teaser trailer already, so we're gonna get
Yeah.
something. But it's apparently co-op up to 4 players, and it's the Avengers. So we don't know right now. Like, do you play as the Avengers or do you play as people in the
if you
Avengers
do,
world?
if you do like a couch co-op Marvel game, like
I
people
feel
have
like
been-
it could be so good.
so many people I talk to are just like, I miss old couch co-op games.
So
And-
I do.
Yeah.
We said this. We talked about this. When did we talk
Yeah,
about it? on
I
the
mean, we've
podcast?
had this
We talked about
conversation.
it, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we've
Because
definitely
I was
talked
saying,
about
like, yeah, like I want a console game where I can sit on my butt, be thoroughly like entertained, and hang out with my friends.
Same,
and that you
same.
don't really have that.
Exactly.
Like,
If I want to
they-
play online, I'll
like-
play on PC.
Have
Yeah.
they what am I trying to type? Have they released any of like the gameplay views or anything, or have they literally just said they're gonna do it?
They've shown a teaser trailer, and we know it's been in the works for a long time now. But they've
Because
shown a
I'd
teaser
quite like
trailer
to
of it.
see. There was a few old X-Men games where it was basically like very almost top down, and you have all 4 players, you share a screen, and like each of you play as the different X-Men.
Yeah,
and
like
then you go around
almost
and you fight
kind
stuff.
of like an ARPG, but like an ARPG light, maybe. I don't know what the genre would be called, but I know what you're talking about. I played them too, where you all have like your own little move set, and you all kind of like work together
Yeah.
to take down the boss, and then you'll go into the next room, and then
I'd love to see an Avengers that's that. So like you play as Thor, you can like throw lightning and stuff, and you level up your character, you gain more skills.
Yeah, I mean, from the
I'd love to
teaser
see- I'd love to see some of
trailer,
that.
I feel like it's going to be something more on a grand scale than that. I mean, it could be that absolutely, but it looks a little bit more. Again, they've been working on it for a long time. I think it's going to be a bit more of a cinematic experience. This is just my own personal opinion. There's no facts in this. I think it's going to be a bit more of a cinematic, very flashy graphics. You play as Thor and Iron Man and whatever else, and you get to do all your moves together. I mean, that would be awesome. Like a maybe kind of sort of Dynasty Warriors style game, but maybe not Dynasty Warriors, but like a spectacle fighter kind of game with co-op. That could be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I am interested to see, obviously, like, Marvel have been doing an incredible job on the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get to
Smashing
the end
it
of
out
having
of the park.
Avengers and stuff
Yeah.
and not come up with a game?
Well, I mean,
obviously, the classic thing of movies to video
they
games.
could just be milking the license, but I hope they're not. I hope they're not. I hope they
Well,
have a
for
reason.
years and years and years, there was so much of like any movie made of a video game, not a great movie. Any video game made of a movie, not a great
Yeah.
video game.
100%.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be good. I trust
if it is
Square
good-
Enix a lot.
If it is good, there's 3 of us here right now. That could be 3 copies sold. We could play it together. So,
and I know Beanvine is up for anything.
we have a 4th already. We're not even seen the gameplay yet. We've already got a squad ready. But no, that'd be cool. I miss proper co-op. I mean, proper co-op. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the freedom of online co-op, but I miss proper co-op as well. I miss split screen. I miss being able to sit on the couch with my friends and play co-op. I miss that proper social gaming experience that we don't have anymore. But yeah, there's not really a lot to talk about Marvel's Avengers because we don't really have any information yet. But it is one of those. It's on my list. I am looking forward to seeing more about it, and I hope it's maybe something we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Eternal. Sorry, did you have more? Did you have more to say?
I finished off Doom last week, and I will definitely have a look at it.
That's kind of why I brought it up, because I know you just finished Doom. I never actually finished the first Doom, but I did enjoy it. It looks just more of the same. Honestly, Doom Eternal looks more of the same, which is not a bad thing, because the last
Honestly,
game was
the
very well
whole-
received.
The whole time I was playing Doom, obviously, like whilst I was streaming it, I know you dropped in for a couple of sessions of that. Like, I loved just the basic, simple idea of here are some big guns, there are some demons, here's some bullets, put them in demons.
Yeah.
That's all you need for a Doom game.
Yeah.
Like,
It
literally,
is,
you
it
run
is.
around with a big shotgun, you blast things heads off. Like, there's some great animations for basically, like, if you stun enemies and get close enough, you can hit melee and you'll basically, like, rip their arm off and beat them to death with it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That is all that game needs. Doom Eternal. If you give me more Doom, I will play more Doom.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's, I mean, it was highly anticipated when it was announced last year. This was another one that was revealed last year in the somewhat up and down Bethesda conference of last year, let's be honest. There was a couple of highly anticipated games on there, a couple of games maybe not so highly anticipated. And it turns out that 2 of those games that were revealed last year were shit. So, I say shit. Rage wasn't that bad.
He sugarcoats it. It's fine.
I mean,
I feel like you're such a harsh critic. Like,
I am because
Yeah,
the
like,
amount
we
of
should-
games that they promise me the world and then they come out and they're just
but like, when something is shit, is it like a complete 0 for you, or it's like hovering at a 5?
Fallout 76 was shit. I don't do scores. I don't do scores because I don't find them useful. But Fallout 76 was a trash game. It was crap. It was awful. It was a game that we already had a previous iteration of, like Fallout 3 for New Vegas, and they made it worse in every way possible. Like there was nothing better about 76 than there was in any of the previous Fallout games. So that for me was a failure of a game.
Well, this for me is what I'm really looking forward to seeing at E3 with Bethesda. Are they going to talk about 76? Are they going to fix it? Are they just going to leave it to die?
They're going to talk about 76. They're going to talk about it, and they're going to talk about probably going to talk about their future of 76 and their roadmap and how they're going to make the game. They're probably going to come out with, we know Fallout 76 has got some work to do. That's what they're going to say. They're not going to come out and be like, guys, we fucked up. 76 was trash. We're going to fix it. If they come out, if Todd Howard came out, and when's Bethesda? Sunday, so Monday morning for us, right? If Todd Howard comes out and says, guys, we fucked up, but we're going to fix it, I will give that man the respect. But he won't. He'll come out and be like, oh yeah, it's got a bit of work to do. We think it's a good game so far, but it's got work to do, and we're going to work on it, and it's going to be the best game ever. Please buy it. And if you've already bought it, please continue playing it, because millions of people play it. Fucking liars. But
we've redesigned Fallout New Vegas, put multiplayer in it. We're calling it Fallout 77, and it's actually good. And you're just like, oh my god!
What did you say, Taylor? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's okay.
Was it not relevant? So yeah, I did. But this is my thing. I'm going to be so skeptical this year because I was really excited for Bethesda last year, and I sat there, and from what I saw of Fallout 76, I said this last year when I streamed it. I went, this is bollocks. This is not true. It's not going to be great. Like, wait and see, but it's not going to be great. And it wasn't. And I really they have an opportunity here to like get some customer goodwill back. And I will be very skeptical. I will wait and see what they say. But I feel like they're going to come out and it's going to be damage control. It's going to be, don't acknowledge the failures. Just look at the future, ignore last year. And honestly, I know it's E3 and it's all about the hype and it's all about the blah, but like at the same time, I'm like, you're coming out to a crowd that used to love you that currently doesn't. And you're going to have to work hard to get that respect back. So I hope that they do. Anything else from Bethesda anyone's interested in?
Elder Scrolls 6?
I don't think we're going to get much from it. We got like a 2-second clip last year. It was more than 2 seconds. We got a tiny teaser last year.
It was barely a teaser.
It was literally, here is a
screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we're going to get much more. I don't think we're going to get much more from that.
I'd like to see some from it, but...
Well, the problem now is that obviously it's not coming out on this generation. I'd be very surprised if it comes out on this generation. It's going to be next generation. So I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's like, oh, here's a 10-second teaser. Tune in next year. Which again, no problem with. No problem. I would rather a game came out when it's ready. I would rather wait another year or two till it's ready. And if it's going to be on the same scale of something like Skyrim was, which at the time Skyrim was a first in class game. So yeah, I'd rather wait. But I don't think we're going to get much from that. Vampire the Masquerade. Anyone interested in that? Anyone played any of the Vampire the Masquerade games? I recently have.
I've seen you play one.
Yeah, that's a very old game, though. It's like a 13-year-old game. It was the first time I've ever played it, though. I played it on stream last month, and I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the new one, because as much as I really enjoyed Vampire the Masquerade, it was an old game, and it felt like an old game. It had a lot of, I wouldn't say problems, but it had a lot of symptoms of games that were older. And so I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that same world and that same story in a modern engine. I'm really looking forward to that. I think there's an opportunity again for another game that could be fantastic with a good narrative and some good RPG, because this is the big thing about Fallout 76. It's totally stripped away all the RPG stuff, and people clearly want RPGs. I mean, Fallout Cyberpunk 2077 is pretty much everybody's number one anticipated game, and in fact we'll talk about Cyberpunk in a minute because I'm super excited for it. Like, pretty much everybody's excited for Cyberpunk, and we know Cyberpunk is going to be an RPG, so it's going to have RPG elements at least. So people obviously still want RPGs, and so it's really encouraging to see some RPGs coming out. You know, like Vampire the Masquerade being a similar RPG to Fallout, where you have dialogue choices, and those choices will then affect your different paths and things like that, or how you approach different situations depending on how many skill points you have in. For a good example, I played Vampire the Masquerade and I put all my points into flirtation, essentially seduction. And so my vampire would easily seduce people to get what they wanted. So rather than being very aggressive we would flirt with people, and then they would give me what I wanted. It was really, really fun.
Fair enough.
So yeah, looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade. I think it's probably going to be an auto buy for me unless anything comes out and it's bullshit. Anything else? I mean, we haven't covered Cyberpunk yet. I want to cover Cyberpunk, but that's a pretty straightforward one.
Apparently Warner Bros. As well are doing a potential Lego Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker. I like the Lego game.
So many Lego. I do. I like Lego games too, but I played so many of them. It's getting to the point now where I'm just like, they have all melded into one for me. I'm just
I own so many of them.
I do. I started playing this Lego Star Wars. Sorry, what did you say?
I did hours of the Harry Potter one.
I never played the Harry Potter ones.
I have the Harry Potter ones, the Lord of the Rings ones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like that those kind of games are a weird one, because I don't think even the kids are playing them anymore. Most kids are playing Fortnite.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, no, I don't begrudge it. You know, I'm fine. Keep bringing them out. Whatever. I'm not really that bothered. Cyberpunk 2077. Let's go on. Let's talk about it. I am excited.
Yeah.
I
think easily I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I think everybody's number one game. Like, most people now, if you ask what's your number one game for E3 2019, most people are saying Cyberpunk 2077. I really hope we get to see some gameplay, like some proper gameplay, because we have seen so far kind of a gameplay trailer, although it did look very, very scripted. So take that with a pinch of salt. We've seen some more footage recently that, again, all looked very, very scripted. So I want to see some actual gameplay. I want to see somebody running around and exploring that world that's not scripted dialogue. You know, I want to see how that game plays. I want to see what it's all about. I mean, I'm probably going to auto buy it anyway. I mean, I really trust CD Projekt Red. I think The Witcher 3 was one of the few modern games I would call an actual masterpiece. I think The Witcher 3, even though it had its flaws, was almost a perfect RPG. I feel like there was so many good points about The Witcher 3 that I loved, and I just trust them. I trust CD Projekt Red. They have not done anything so far. When it comes to game development, anyway, company practices, will leave that for another day, because every big company does some bullshit. But but aside from that, they haven't done anything with their games in recent memory to break my trust. I mean, The Witcher 3, the business model was fantastic. The DLC was amazing, like whole new areas with whole new side quests and stories, and really good ones as well. Like, in fact, I almost enjoyed the Hearts of Stone expansion a bit more than the main campaign. Not gonna lie, I really, really enjoyed that. So
one of the things that I was going to say with Cyber 2077 is that we know that CD Projekt Red are very good at not only creating great games, but then also supporting those games after the launch, bringing out new content, making it so the DLC is of like an actual DLC price, and it is more game. It's not just like, oh, here's like an extra mission and some aesthetics.
Absolutely.
Like, it's real stuff.
Solidly crafted. I mean, I know The Witcher 3 had a few bugs at launch, mainly with Roach. Mainly the bugs were with the horse. But if you think about the size and the scale of The Witcher 3, with being an open world RPG in a giant world like that, with so much in it, it wasn't just like a Far Cry open world. It had so much packed into that world that it was inevitable there were going to be a few bugs. And I actually thought, really, I know there was like meme videos on YouTube and that, but apart from the Roach bug that they did fix, there wasn't that many. It was a very well-crafted world. And, if they put that same level, and I'm sure they have because it's been in development for a long time now, if they put that same level of love and care and attention into Cyberpunk that they have in The Witcher 3, then it's automatically going to be a good game. I'm sure the story is going to be great. I'm sure all of that's going to be, the world's going to be great. So I just can't see it failing. I can't see it. I would be so surprised.
They would have to really, really shit the bed to mess this up.
Exactly.
Like, they would have to really, really, really do something bad.
Exactly. Because I know with The Witcher 3, there was I feel like the marketing for The Witcher 3 was kind of fair. Like, they didn't oversell. Some of the cutscenes, the graphically were, nicer than the game, even though The Witcher 3 is a stunning game. The cutscenes were really, really good, but they weren't overselling the game. They were showing you some story and being like, hey, this is what the world is like. And, I remember there was a cutscene about a vampire and Geralt fighting the vampire, and they didn't oversell it. Like, they didn't oversell The Witcher. They didn't hype it up, and it didn't come out and it wasn't worse than we'd seen, which was, for a AAA game, is kind of rare these days. It's very rare that they don't oversell. They all want to get you hyped and excited, and they'll fix the game later. So I'm really looking forward to a solid Cyberpunk game that is, not overhyped. And I feel like if they've overhyped this one, I'll be very, very surprised. If I have to make a YouTube video going, I was wrong about Cyberpunk 2077, I swear to God, I swear, I will be angry. But yeah, I think that's what else can we say about Cyberpunk? Everyone's excited for it. I hope it comes out soon, but at the same time, I hope it comes out when it's ready. So I think people are saying 2020 is going to be most likely.
I'll wait for it. I'd rather it came out ready and done. Yeah. The same kind of like sentiments you're saying, like CD Projekt Red. I know that they make good games. I want to see a good game come out of them. I don't want them to rush it.
Yeah, same. Again, I'll wait till it's done, and if that means it's an amazing game, if that's a, I don't score games, but if there was ever a game I would have to give a 10 out of 10, it would be The Witcher. I don't do that. I don't give game scores, but like that way, there are things you could have improved The Witcher, but it didn't need it. It was amazing. I feel like it was one of the most memorable games of the last 10 years for me. So that's it. Have we got anything else we want to talk about E3? Any other games we're excited for? Anything we've missed? I mean, there's a couple of like rumors and stuff that people have said, maybe a new Splinter Cell, which I would love because I used to enjoy.
I mean,
Splinter Cell
we hopped straight over the Nintendo stuff. And,
yeah, we did. I mean, I spoke briefly about.
I mean, everyone knows what Nintendo's doing anyway.
Animal Crossing's coming out. We know Pokemon Sword and Shield's coming out. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I'll be buying Shield.
The legendary doggo looks amazing.
Yeah, there was two.
They have like the sword one and the shit. I mean, I was assuming it's the same one but different forms.
Well, traditionally you had a rare in each game that you could only get. Like you had the legendary birds in like silver and gold, and you had the legendary.
Well, you say like traditionally, but that started silver and gold. Red and blue was just.
To be honest, I haven't played Pokemon games for a long time. I played Pokemon Let's Go. And before that, I can't remember. I think I played briefly Black, but I didn't play much of it. So yeah, I'm not really a modern Pokemon fan. But I don't know. We'll see. To me, it looks like you're gonna get one or the other. I mean, they're both dogs. Who knows? I don't know.
Have you seen the last thing for Sword and Shield they released, where I think it's an item called Dynamax, and you make the Pokemon huge and they fight each other?
I haven't seen it. All I've seen is that the aesthetic of Pokemon Sword and Shield is based on the United Kingdom, which is interesting.
It is.
So, as we are Brits, Taylor isn't, but as we are Brits, I'll be interested to see how much of it actually looks like England. Is it going to be raining every day? We'll see. But it'd be nice to have some like little English references in there. We'll see. But yeah, A Link to the Past, I'm really looking forward to because I loved that. It was the first RPG I ever played. They're remaking it, remastering it, whatever. So I want to see some gameplay of it. I want to see it. I've seen the graphics. The graphics, it looks like a Switch game. It doesn't look like a SNES game, which is a good thing. So yeah, but that's it. Pretty much, we've covered the majority of things I'm interested in. There'll be some stuff. I hope we get some surprises. I hope we get some stuff that we didn't know was coming. The Baldur's Gate, we know. I think that's been confirmed now. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm sure a lot of people are get very excited for. I never played it. I played a Baldur's Gate game, but it wasn't the RPG. I think it was the hack and slash. So I've never played the Baldur's Gate RPG. But maybe this will be the one that makes me start. So I do like an RPG. It's been a long time since I properly played a proper RPG. I mean, The Witcher 3 was the last one that I played, but that's more of a modern RPG. So it's been a long time. So maybe this one could sway me.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I'm seeing on Nintendo is Metroid Prime 4. I'd be really interested in.
Yeah,
I liked the old Metroid Prime games.
I like the Super Metroid. I played that one. I think that was the last one I played as well. Honestly, showing my age there. But no, I think that pretty much wraps up our thoughts and opinions. Again, if you want like our actual thoughts and opinions on as the show unfolds, that will be later on today. Again, just in case you missed it earlier, we're going to be doing pretty much every single E3 show live over on Twitch. We might not be able to do Devolver Digital and Square Enix because of the time. If we can stay up, I will. It's like 2 and 3 a.m.
But we want to see the Marvel Adventure.
Yeah, I will try my hardest. I will get some Monster Energy, not sponsored, and some snacks and stuff. I will try my hardest there. It also depends if I've started my job by then, which it's not looking likely. And honestly, if they ring me now and be like, can you start tomorrow? I might be like, nah, got stuff I'm doing, sorry.
No, I can't.
It's E3, it's once a year, you know. So we will be streaming it. If you want to come and hang out while we stream it live, I will leave links to it below. Last year I uploaded my VODs as well to YouTube. So what I did is I streamed it and then I uploaded the VOD to YouTube afterwards. They all got copyright claimed, but I might just do it anyway. I might just upload them anyway. Like, I don't make any money on YouTube. I'm not bothered. I just, you know, I kind of don't want copyright claims on my channel, but at the same time, like, whatever, I might do it. But come and check us out on Twitch. We'll all be there later on today. We'll be doing all of them 30 minutes before each show. So the time you can find them online, 30 minutes before that. I might post it in the comments down below as well, what times we're going to go live. But we'll be there. That's it. In the meantime, if you haven't already, you can go and check us out. Where can you find us? Blindside, where can people find you? And what have you got coming up this week? I know tell us, you're going away, but what have you got before?
I'm going away. So actually this week there is only one stream. It will be Monday, which is Sekiro. So Taylor will be lurking.
She doesn't like Sekiro.
It's just so long.
There is a lot. But to be fair, Bloodborne took me, I think, almost a month and a half or something like that. Bloodborne took a while.
You were talking about it for a lot of podcast episodes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. There was a lot of podcast episodes. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So I will only be streaming on Monday. But I will be in Poland, which means I will probably be uploading plenty of stuff to Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, which my Insta is blindside_UK. So you can follow me over there. I like how Taylor's like, did he remember? I literally just searched it. I searched it whilst talking.
I was going to tell you.
Yeah, I could see you getting a bit like, oh, does he know it? So follow me on Twitter at blindside_UK or on Instagram blindside_UK as well. I will be posting updates of me being away in Poland.
Nice.
So it will probably be a lot of pictures, pictures of alcohol, because I'm going to be drinking hella vodka whilst I'm there.
Safely and responsibly, though, of course.
Yeah. Safely and responsibly, but hella. Like, there'll be a lot of
But hella.
Safely, much of it.
Sure.
Okay.
Hopefully, I will be doing some more YouTube stuff, but that won't be for the next week or so, unless I can film something over the next few days, which might happen. But yeah, I am on YouTube at Blindside UK. I don't have one of those fancy URLs where you can change them yet, because I'm not 100 subs. But we'll put a link in the description. It'll be fine. We'll put it in the description.
Sub to Elliott. It's a thing.
Hashtag sub to Elliott, because he needs the sub so that I can have a URL that's not a billion random letters.
And Taylor,
yeah,
what have you got coming up?
That's
You've just got back. Well, you've been back a little while now, but what have you got coming up? Where people find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Atarkic, spelt underneath me because nobody knows how to spell it. And also Atarkic.tv on Instagram. I also run the GGWP Instagram, which is the GGWP Oddcast.
Yes, it's the GGW podcast because it's the Grumpy Gaming Weekend podcast.
I just wonder why you said it that way. It's the
because I was like, there's no two P's. We had to really for this one.
We couldn't get the name we wanted. It was very, very difficult. It was a big headache. I don't want to go through it again.
But this week I'll probably be playing Portal 2 with Elliott, maybe some Dead by Daylight, and Elliott had told me about a new game that he was interested in, which I'm down for. What was it called?
Satisfactory.
Yeah, so another strategy game, but this one's first person. And
yeah, so it's first person multiplayer. Person multiplayer co-op.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks really good.
So apparently it's just Factory Town, but like cooler, according to Elliott.
It's very,
Which-
very space agey as well.
Which I'm there for. So we'll probably be doing a
Perfect.
little bit of that. Yeah.
Perfect. And again, just in case you didn't know, all three of us will be covering E3 live on Twitch. So you should come and hang out while we do it. It'll be fun, goddammit. Bring alcohol and snacks. Or if you're under the legal age of drinking where you live, bring whatever else you drink when you, I don't know, soda and snacks. But that's it. If you found this video, you've already found my YouTube channel. So thank you for sticking around to the end. I also live stream over on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/TheGrumpyBrit. We usually do Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But this week we're going to be doing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and probably Thursday. So lots of streams from me this week. And yeah, I do YouTube. If you've not checked out my other YouTube content, I do a little bit of everything. I do first impression videos. I do the occasional discussion videos when I have time. I do some Let's Plays. I did a Lorelei Let's Play. That was really fun. I also do, I just put a Dead by Daylight video up, which I thought was pretty good. I say pretty good.
You did a review of Plague the Innocents?
Yeah, I did. Well, I did a first impression of yeah, I didn't do a review. I did a first impression. I've never actually done a full review, mainly because I can't get them done quick enough for YouTube. You've got to get them done really quickly, and I have to wait for the release because I'm not a big enough YouTuber yet. But that's another topic for another day. But yes, thank you very much for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end of the video, let me know in the comments below. And as usual, like the video and do all the stuff that the
press all the buttons. Every
well,
button
not
on
the
screen.
dislike.
Press
You
all
can,
of them.
you can if you really want to, but like press the like
dislike,
one,
then
do a
press
comment.
Then
Donate your liver and kidney for me, and that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Just all of those things to suit the.
Go straight to my
algorithm.
Patreon.
Oh, I have Patreon too, but I don't shill that on YouTube, not yet. Anyway, right, that is it. We'll see you all later on today, and then next Saturday for the next episode of the podcast. Bye.
Bye.